I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. So throughout my videos, I've been dropping Apple's name quite a bit and talking about why I will never own an Apple product. I guess it's a good time to make that video. And this is going to tell you about more again who I am and more about who society is. It's one that completely blows my mind. It's a really, really unbelievable story. It really is. So why am I so against Apple? Well, there's three main reasons. And really, I guess four if you really want to go into it, and maybe even a fifth one to kind of topple in. Let's go into it here. I understand people wanting an alternatives and wanting alternatives to what we have. That's all part of what free market controls, or it's supposed to control cost and allow us to have a market that is competitive. I'm all for all of that. Absolutely 110%. We have to have it. Even though today's more of a monopoly is taking place today more than ever with Amazon and even Elon Musk. It's on both sides. So please, people, I hope you see I'm an American. I'm on either side. I'm on our side. Quit using your right arm, Jason. All right. So why am I so against Apple? Well, let's see. They weren't a startup company who needed money to fund themselves to give you something different. They're already a gazillion dollar company, gazillionaires. They're not startup. But yet they want to charge you an arm and a leg for everything. I could get it if they said, hey, we're a startup company, people, we want to give you an alternative, and in order to do so, we don't have the funds to do it, we need help. And we're doing it for you. I'd be all for it, 110%. That's actually what I want to see. But that's not what Apple is. Apple is such a greedy corporate company. I mean, unbelievable. Nobody else has done this to their people but Apple. I don't understand. Let me ask you something. Use that arm. Can you tell me, if I get my arm up here, which one of these phones is a $1,200 phone and which one cost me $25 brand new? Can you tell me? Do you look at them? Do you see the big difference? Which one of these was $1,200 and which one of these was $25? Can you tell me the difference? Oh my God, it's the cell phone industry in itself is the biggest racket in America, if not the world. I don't know, Biden's really put a twist in that one. Let me take that back. I'm going to... Okay, stick to the cell phone. So what does Apple do? Apple, the first thing they did was took and slowed down intentionally. They were fined by the federal government for doing it. Can't tell me it didn't happen. People, go back and do your homework. They slowed down 3 models of their phone intentionally to make people go buy new ones. Why would you support a company who would do that to you? Why? There was a day that any company did that to any American, and America would shut it down. Even our government would step up and be like, eh. But yet our government, and again, that's actually later on down the road here in the story, that falls more into the 4 or 5 level of my problem with Apple. But if that's not already greedy and dirty enough, they're so petty that they took and put out an update on phones so that you could no longer go and buy a $5 cord, because you have to buy their $30 cord, because we need to charge $30 for a stinking cord. But you weren't allowed to use anybody else's anymore. You had to go and I know because my ex-wife and I, we both had kids from prior marriages, and our exes were both societalized fools, and we're Apple people. Because it's all about the money, image. If I told you this phone cost me $1,200, you think I'm somebody, right? Even though this only cost $100. But if you thought it, and I thought, and it was worth $1,200, and I paid $1,200, that makes me who I am, and I'm somebody special because I can afford a $1,200 phone, even though I'm crying about my bills. Stupid And you're going to support a company who's just going to keep doing that to you, slow down phones and don't want you to use a phone that worked perfectly fine yesterday because they want more of your money and force you into giving them more of your money. How do you support that? Yes, people, go out and do your homework. This is all documented. This not a hoax. I mean, it's all the federal government has been involved in these cases. So then, if all of that isn't bad enough, I mean, that's really enough in itself. I mean, we can't support a company who isn't even going to think about supporting me. It's just going to screw me instead. Then what do? Back when cell phones hit the $600 price tag range, because a cell phone's worth $600 even, right? Tell you they'll tell you right to your face it's the biggest scam in America, because I recently calling around switching companies. They put you on hold and you get to listen to their stories, the sales pitches and jingles. Well, one of them said the biggest profitable invention in American history is the cell phone. The word profitable is the ringing bell there. Profitable. What people will pay the most for and what they can make the most money off of. That right there shows you it's a racket. It's a scam. It's the biggest scam in America. Right there tells you that. It's good to make money. It's good to be well off. Greed. Why I will not go with Apple ever. And why would you when you can go to Android and you got to pay for Apple products that you get for free with Android, and it's all down the list, even music. Why would you put yourself through that, people? Please tell me. Only use their stuff that's only adaptable to their product, and so many things outside of the Apple line were not and are not usable on Apple. Why, people? Why would you do it? But what did they do when we hit the $600 price tag on a cell phone, because that was already not enough? No, they said, I mean, go find it. I watched the video. You can watch the CEO make a public statement about it. They laugh right in your people's faces, and you all just smile and take it. Yeah. He said, we charge $1,200 because we have so much money we can afford it. We don't care if you buy our phone or not. We don't care. We have the money if you don't. You're not hurting us any. But what did people do? People decided that it was worth $1,200. Because why? Which one is which? What phone is worth $1,200 here, and which one's worth $25 brand new off the shelf? Which one of these? Can you tell me? They all do the same thing, only now it's a matter of how much you're going to pay to get to do that service. And now that people paid $1,200 for a phone, which, oh my God, people, again, we control the market. Or do they control your mind? Are you that simplistic minded that you think that that's okay? But then go cry because you can't afford nothing while you're eating your $20 meal. And then what happened after Apple charged $1,200 and so many people went out and paid it because you just had to have it? It's $1,200. Look at who I am because of the money I spend. You're somebody stupid. It's part of why I can't get along in society. I can't, because I look at people and why so many people, it's not that I even talk down to them, or I just look away. I don't want to see it. What do you mean you don't want to see it? Look, I paid $1,200 for the phone. Really? What can I do? Well, look, I can call somebody. I can get on the web. Really? I can do all of that with my phone too. And mine cost $25. Huh. It's a racket. So then after Apple charged $1,200 and people went out and paid for it, what happened? Well, a rest of corporate greed is what happened. They said, oh my God, people will pay $1,200 for a phone. Well, now we're going to charge $1,200 for a Samsung, and we're going to charge $1,200 for a Google. Wait a second. They were willing to pay $1,200. I bet they'll pay $2,000. Let's find out. You guys want to find out? Oh yes, let's put a $2,500 price tag on that damn phone, because we live in a world full of children who think a phone is worth more than... God, I don't even pay that much for a stinky car, because all I do is use it as a car. People beat it up, dent it up, smash it up, and all I do is lose. That's pretty stupid. And then it didn't even just take the cell phone industry, other industries started looking at that and go, wow, people really are that stupid. People really are just a bunch of kids who just going to cry if they can't have their toys. So then the rest of the market started following suit. Other markets started saying, we can overcharge more and charge more and charge more and charge more, and people will just pay it. Again, people, we unite, grow up, stand up, and act like adults again. Look around us and go, wow, we've got enough toys to play with. We could really take our market and our industries and our money back. So there's my rant on Apple. That's why I will never, if I find Apple's name is on anything, and I mean there is so much more beyond all of that. And those were the top three. When they put out the update that slowed down three different models of their phones, put out the update of the charging cords, so you had to only have an Apple charging cord. You could not use anybody else's. And when they charged $1,200 for a phone that was at that time an overpriced $600 phone, but the 4 and 5 was also with their corporate greed. They're in cahoots with China. I mean, they're in cahoots with even the American government. We sat and watched even the CEOs and stuff of Apple sit with Donald Trump on. I remember back when Trump was president before, going, "Oh my God, I don't like this." Apple is corporate greed. It's complete corruption, and they shake hands with China, and they're in cahoots with China. That's all bad. All of it. All of it. Oh, there's more about me and more about why I will never ever own an Apple product. Oh yeah, look at what they do with their sister companies, because they don't already gazillionaires off of the cell phone industry. They have to own every industry in the world and take over. Again, we really want free. We want the freedom to be able to have more companies to turn to, not other companies taking over everything, like I just talked about with Elon Musk taking over everything, and with Amazon taking over everything. And then how many companies and sister companies does Apple have? Did you guys remember all that stuff going on in Indiana? Was it in Indiana or Wisconsin, where their government handshake and the state handshake with the politicians, and they decided, hey, we're going to give you a bunch of money so you come here and open a television plant, because they're in cahoots with everybody. I mean, they own companies with everybody, every industry. I mean, their names tagged so much. Why would you continue supporting all of that greed? And then what all even happened took place with that television plant that they were supposed to be putting in, that we gave them so much of our tax dollars to put in there, because for some reason we need to fund gazillionaires to make gazillions more, right? Oh my God, I'm freaking sick of it. Our taxpayers should not pay Elon Musk, who's the richest man in the world, to make more stuff. For what? Him to make more money? Just like with the vaccine, our tax dollars paid for the vaccine, and then how much money did Pfizer and all these other companies make off of it? I've had it. Haven't you had it, people? Please comment below. Have you had it? Because if you had it, then what we need to start doing is uniting, talking as adults in our country, as United States citizens, and take our damn country back and our money. This is how it's done.